The Dallas Mavericks still have plenty of big games ahead of them, but this team has turned the corner with their 6-game winning streak heading into the All-Star break. The Mavericks are 32-23 at the break, and the team is getting healthy at the perfect time. Kyrie Irving is back and thriving, Derek Lively II returned after a 7-game absence, and Dante Exum will look to return after the All-Star break. With the team nearly at full strength, the Mavs will look to fire on all cylinders and make a run in the final part of the season. The Mavericks are going nuclear, and they are just getting started. What's going on, everyone? It is Luka here, back with another video. In this one, I'm going to be talking about the Dallas Mavericks. If y'all can do yourself a favor, please hit a like on the video. It helps it a ton. And also, please subscribe to the channel for more Mavericks content just like this. So a big reason why the Mavs have been able to enjoy a successful recent run has been the return of Kyrie Irving. In the 6 games since his return from a sprained right thumb, Irving has been magnificent. He has averaged 26.7 points, 6.3 assists, and 5.6 rebounds per game. The new additions of Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington have helped the Mavs out tremendously, but Irving has really been the catalyst for the Dallas Mavericks' recent fortunes. He's really helped turn the ship here. However, that's not taken away from the trades. The Mavericks acquired Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington, and they've already produced immediate results. And you look at the games in which they've played, the Mavericks have won by an average of 22 points per game in the 3 games that they've played in. And you look at Gafford, he has been a beast. He had 19-9 against the Thunder. And how about following that up with 16 points and 17 boards to go along with 5 blocks against his former team, the Wizards. And then he had 10-10 against the Spurs. And Washington has done a good job too. You know, you look at his numbers on the glass, they have been good. And once he gets that shot to fall with consistency, he's going to be another vital piece on this Mavericks team. 5 of the Mavericks' 6 wins during their streak have been by double digits. And now with Gafford and Washington being high-level players and contributors on this Mavs team, it's been a seamless fit. And you pair them with Doncic and Irving, and you can see why the Dallas Mavericks can be a real problem in the Western Conference. And in training camp, Irving spoke about wanting to peak at the right time this season, and the Mavericks are well on their way to doing that. I mean, you look at this team, they're healthy, and they were able to acquire that size that they were missing. You know, 2 guys that fit needs of theirs. So you look at this team, they're as talented as they come, and the Mavericks are now looking to take that leap and be a title contender. Now it's time to get ready for the second half of the season, Irving said, going after our championship. The Mavericks, I mean, this is a team, they got their sights set on a championship. They got Luka playing at the peak of his powers. Kyrie's obviously been in big games, and you look at this roster, they got a lot of nice pieces that complement each other well, and they got another big piece back recently. After being sidelined for 7 games due to a nasal fracture, it was nice to see Derek Lively II return to the Dallas Mavericks lineup, and he helped the Mavericks beat the Spurs 116-93 on Wednesday night. And he did come from off the bench for the first time since his NBA debut, but you look at Lively, 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 blocks in just 17 minutes. And, you know, it was just great to see him back out there. You know, he's obviously going to take some time to get back to 100%, but Lively is now in the mix. Huge piece for this Mavericks team. And he and Gafford, all of a sudden, are a 2-headed beast, a 2-headed monster for the Mavs at center. And these guys protect the paint, and they can impose their will inside. So the Mavericks went from having 1 legitimate big and center to now having 2. That is going to be a huge boost for them as we approach playoff time, and if the Mavericks, you know, find themselves in series against some of the teams that are at the top of the Western Conference right now. So Gafford has been great. Washington, I think, is gonna get better as he gets more comfortable with the system. He is a guy that I think those shots are going to start to fall, especially when he continues to get easy looks playing alongside Luka and Kyrie. And then you look at the other big reason why the Mavs' success has been happening right before our eyes. And of course, you got to talk about Luka Doncic's MVP caliber play. I mean, Luka was basically the reason why the Mavs were able to stay afloat with Irving out due to injuries. And you look at Luka, he is playing arguably his best ball of his career. Through 47 games, he's averaging a career high and league-leading 34.2 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 9.5 assists while shooting it 49.2% overall and a career-high 37.5% from deep. Luka has been in his bag, and we know what Luka, his offensive numbers are going to be there. He's going to do something every game that impresses you. But what really has stood out to me about Doncic has been his defensive play. You can tell he's really stepped it up with that part of his game. And the way that he's been playing defense, it's like he's trying to prove a point. He wants to become one of the best defenders. And you look at Doncic, I mean, not only is he 7th in the league in steals per game at 1.4, but he's also 18th in rebounds per game. I found this fascinating, guys. He's 18th in rebounds per game at 8.8, and all 17 players ahead of him are centers or power forwards. So Luka Doncic imposing his will on the glass, being able to get rebounds amongst the bigs in the league, that is a huge bonus to this Mavs team. And then you look at Doncic, he has played his best defense in the post. He ranks number 2 in post-up defense per synergy, 25 plays minimum. So Luka Doncic is getting it going on both sides. This is not a guy who can just put together freak stat lines where, you know, he's dropping big points, putting up assists, putting up rebounds. His defense has really come along nicely. So he's playing his best ball. Kyrie Irving looks locked in. The new guys are coming in nicely. The Dallas Mavericks have solid depth. Exum's coming back soon. Lively's back. I mean, this Mavericks team, they're going to get a much-needed All-Star break, and then they're going to resume play once again when they take on the Phoenix Suns on Thursday. And that's going to be a chance to draw even with the Suns in the Western Conference standings and give the Mavericks the regular season tiebreaker over them. So that's going to be a huge game coming out of the break for this Mavericks team. You look at this Mavericks team, guys, they will have a legitimate shot to be a title contender if what we've seen continues post All-Star break. And this team, if they can really find their rhythm, they're going to be scary to deal with. So the Dallas Mavericks, they have been absolutely lights out, have completely turned the corner. This team has got back on track, and you know, this is a team that they got Irving back, which was huge, and then credit their big deadline. Dallas went out, they made the trades that they needed to. They didn't have the splashy trade like they had last NBA trade deadline in the season ago, but they did make moves that helps this team along the edges. So this Dallas Mavericks team, I think they stack up well against anybody right now in the Western Conference. So now they just got to go out and prove it. So Mavs fans, whatever your thoughts been when it comes to this Mavs team, what are your expectations for the final part of the season? How far up do you see the Mavericks getting in the Western Conference standings? Let me know your thoughts. Hit a like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. This is Luka signing off. I will catch you all again in the next video.